Hello. Thanks for tuning in. Lisa Pezik here. And in this episode, I am coming back online, back into the world after an entire 7 days of being completely unplugged from technology, from our business, from any external craziness that can suck the energy out of our life. We were away in the Bahamas on an immersion retreat called Manifesting Magic with our good buddy Lou Carletto. And he's a healer. He's a body healer. He is a chiropractor by trade. But every year he puts on this retreat where we go through exercises to release limiting beliefs and trauma and just the junk that kind of holds us back. And then we get into vision board planning and goal setting and just rocking in your life. And the best bonus is that we get to go out on a boat every day and swim with wild dolphins. And on this particular trip, an amazing whale shark, like ginormous, huge. If you don't know what whale sharks look like, Google it. They're like prehistoric dinosaurs, but they are plant eaters, so they have no teeth. So they are not scary sharks, not anything that wants to harm us or hurt us. And this bad boy or girl, not sure which one it was, wanted some love. So it came to swim with us. And the crew that took us out told us that in 20 years, that shark they've only seen a whale shark. This was the second time in 20 years that thing came to play. So talk about manifesting magic and being connected to the universe. Whoa, did that open my eyes. And that's what I want to talk about in this podcast, about what it means to have a conscious business. Because what Lou is teaching us, and a lot of the talk that we, really talked about and broke down was, what is it when you're a conscious person, when you're a conscious being? Things like the 4 agreements, like being impeccable with your word and not making assumptions and doing your best for the greater good. And I was thinking about that as a human, on a human level. But things just started to come up for me deeper in a business level. Not only being a conscious human and a conscious being, but having a conscious business. And suddenly, everything that I was driving for, it just didn't matter to me. And in the past, if I'm being honest, the driving factor for me was income. Because growing up, we never had a lot of it. Now, we certainly had food on the table, clothing on our backs, a roof over our house, roof over our head. I was not in lack whatsoever growing up, but I wouldn't say there was crazy amounts of money to have really nice things and go on vacations and have experiences and do crazy stuff. So when I got into business, I was like, yeah, I really want to help people. I really want to serve people. I really want to change the world, but I really want to make money. And now going through this, everything has completely shifted for me. The money is so secondary because I got in tune with myself. I got in tune with the true gifts that I want to give to the world. And you have those gifts too. So I want you to think about 4 things to shift your business or shift your life into being more conscious, into being more aware, into serving yourself and others bigger and deeper. So the first question I have, if you're a business owner, I know you go through your elevator pitch, right? Who you are, what you do, how you help people. I usually call it my XYZ statement. So the X is you. I'm Lisa Pezik, a content and digital marketer, business strategist. The why is who I help. Now I'm changing that to conscious business owners, or I help heart-centered business owners, not newbies, people that got skin in the game, already out there trying and doing. And then the Z is I help them get online, make some more passive income, grow their product suite, help them with content, technology, launch. And then the Z is like, so that what? And that's the part that everybody cares about. Nobody cares our credentials. Nobody really cares who we help, because as a user, as a client, you're going to self-select whether you want to hire that person or not. It's always the like, so that what? Why should they hire us? You know, what value are we going to bring into their life? And the Z for me was always so they can serve bigger and serve deeper, make passive income, live a life on their own terms. Because I came from a family that pretty much gave me directives about what I could and could not do. I didn't get to make a lot of choices about the profession that I wanted, who I wanted to date, where I wanted to go to college, what sports I wanted to play, what I wanted to do. That was all directed at me, or there was hell to pay if I didn't listen. So my Z of the XYZ statement was always, so you can live a life on your terms, your choosing, your choice. But now, after having this experience, man, it's like, whoo, so much bigger. Now it's so that you can take your message and change humanity, and you can change the planet. You can change the leadership. You can change what we're doing to this planet. Because if you haven't noticed, we are destroying it rapidly, day in and day out. We are killing each other through war, through shooting, through all the mental health, through not knowing who we are, not being true to ourselves, through violence. We are becoming dumber and dumber. No offense, but we are. I'm speaking my truth. Technology is robbing us from having true connections with people. And now that you can Google just about anything, people are experiencing the juiciness of life and trying and doing and failing and getting back up again. It's like, if I don't have that information in a second and it's not easy, I'm not doing it. And that doesn't build character. And when we're not building character, look out for our next generation. So for me, I want to help you spread your message. I want to drill out and pull out that true essence of who you are and how your business is going to change the world and change humanity. So my first question is, what is that for you? How does your business change the planet, change humanity? Are you connected to that deeper, greater good? Now, there's nothing wrong with making money and being paid, because as you've heard me say before, my mentor Brendan Richard says, if you don't make the money, you can't support the message. You can't change the planet and help humanity. If you go out of business, if you don't have a business, you can't change the world. And in order to have a business, you need to make money. You need clients. You need to serve people. So making money is hugely important. But the bigger piece I want you to pull out is, how does your business change humanity? How does your business change the world? How does your business start a mission and a message that people can get behind? So take a few moments this weekend to just journal about that, write about that, free flow, and see what comes up for you. One thing with the vision board that came up for me was, in January of this past year, I started eating plant-based. Now, my nutrition does not have a lot to do with my role as a content and digital marketer. However, I want to start adding in a piece of that, because the less meat that we eat, in my opinion, the less wear and tear on the planet, the less killing of animals, the less just unnecessary violence that I think we don't need in this world. And that's a cause that's near and dear to me. Now, I'm not saying you have to go meatless Monday, start eating less meat. You need to do what's best for you. But for me, that's a cause and that's a movement that I rarely talk about. Yet that came out for me, that the better we fuel ourselves and the more aware we are and connected to Mother Earth and Mother Ocean, to the planet, the better business owner I'm going to be, because I'm fueling myself cleaner. The more productive I'm going to be, the more energy I'm going to have. And I want to start weaving that in. And that's just like a side note, small thing that came up for me, in addition to all the other amazing business-like work that I do. Number 2, which we got challenged on by lovely Lou and the 4 Agreements, the book, the 4 Agreements, if you haven't read it yet, amazing. Number 2 is being impeccable with your word. So if you say you're going to do something to the best of your ability, that's number 3, do your best, be impeccable with your word. Number 2, number 3, do your best. Are you going to do it? Are you going to follow through? While we were away, I was completely unplugged, but one of us, between my husband and I, had to somewhat stay still plugged in and aware, because we left our 5-year-old with Nanny and Papa, and we wanted to have that phone, just kind of there in case anything came up, emergency, we need to answer questions. And my husband, Eric, got a message from a contractor that agreed to do some work. We're doing a big backyard renovation, and he agreed to do some work in our backyard. And he wanted the challenge. We spec'd everything out. And he basically said, you have my word. Like, we're not going to do a contract. I work, back in that day where it's like a handshake is a good to go. And this gentleman did some other work for us in our home. So the relationship was already built. And we were like, yeah, amazing. We trust you. We got you. You got us. Handshake, good to go. Previous relationship, all is well. And it ended up that he was texting saying, now we don't really know the root of kind of what happened, but he's not doing the job. And he left us high and dry with something that he promised, and time that more my husband, I didn't have anything really to do with this conversation, but more my husband's time that he was taking, texting and talking and planning and prepping, and you can't get that time back. And it's not even the fact that he's not doing the work and not following through now when it's due, like this was to be built now. It's that he made a promise. He wasn't impeccable. He didn't follow through. He didn't do his best to serve us when he promised that was what he was going to do. And that ruined the relationship. That ruined any referral we would send to him. It just completely ruined it because he didn't follow through with what he said he was going to do. So something as simple as, yeah, I'll get back to you by tomorrow, or, whatever it is, whatever you agree on in business with people, you got to follow through, and you can't make excuses when things come up. You got to take ownership. It's so easy to say, oh, well, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It's going to cost more than I thought. I didn't have control over this. You have control. You choose to let those excuses come up, and that's not being impeccable with your word. So trust, what do they say? Takes a long time to build trust, but it can be lost in an instant. And that's what happened in this exchange. So that's just good business practice. Even something as simple as offering a 30-day money-back guarantee. Like, if I always say, if you get into a program or a service or use one of our products or something with Eric and I, if you don't love it within 30 days, you'll get your money back. No questions asked. That's just good business, and hold true to that, right? Hold true to that. If someone honestly goes through your stuff and says, it was awful, I hated it, it was terrible, I want my money back, then you do that. If you promise you're going to deliver a service, you do that. Or if something comes up, because that's not to say that obstacles aren't going to get in the way, you do your best to make it right. You do your best to serve them. Be impeccable with your word and do your best. And then lastly, number 4 is not to make assumptions in your business. So many times we don't offer our services to people because we think, oh, that person can't afford it. They're going to think I'm being salesy. They're going to think that I don't care about them, or they're going to think I'm stupid. Who am I to do this and that? We have all this negative or just lack that we feel like we lack in assumptions, or assumptions that we make about other people, that I think hold us back in that value exchange that can happen. And again, going back to Brendan, since he's on my brain and I'm getting this download, when I was sitting once in a mastermind event with him, he was telling us about a woman from, I don't remember if it was China or Australia or where it was, but she never bought any of his previous products. No books, no courses, no high performance academy, no CHPC coaching, like none of his value ladder. She bought his mastermind, which was his highest ticket product and service. And service, I guess really it is, his highest ticket service. And when she got in the room, Brendan asked her, like, why? Why did you wait? Or why did you, take this $30,000, $20,000, however much it was at the time when she bought it, offer when you never took any of my lower tiered offers? And he was telling us how he sent an email and offered his mastermind for the first time via email. Because before it was always at an event or a face-to-face discussion. He never offered it via email before. And when he was asking her, what made you decide to take that? Like, why nothing else? Her exact words to him were, it was the first time you offered it. So here he was assuming that he had to have a conversation. He had to be face to face. People wouldn't want to invest this much, not doing, something else of his beforehand. And he assumed that all this other stuff needed to happen first before someone would take the high ticket offer. And that wasn't true. She said, I waited until I didn't want to do your courses or read your book. I wanted one-to-one access with you, or I wanted group access with you. So I was waiting for you to offer that. And when you did, I took it. Huge assumption on his part, right? And we do that. We all do that in areas of our business. We all do that in areas of our life. Man, why did that person look at me that way? I must have pissed him off. She must be upset with me. She must not want to be friends with me. She must not like me. I must have made him mad. He must think I'm stupid. I must not be good enough. Whatever these assumptions are that we make, they're not true. So how do you get to the root of an assumption? You ask. You literally check in with yourself and check in with other people and make an offer. Don't be afraid to put your services out there, because it's the only way that people know how you can help them. And if you do it from number 1, 2, and 3 that we talked about, if you do it from a place of service, that's going to change the planet, change humanity. If you're impeccable with your word, and if you do your best, well, then that's all you can do. The right people will take it, and the wrong people will walk away. And that's the most beautiful exchange you could ever have in business, is when you come together and co-create. The mentor and the client come together, and it's just this beautiful dance of doing work together and helping each other and helping humanity and helping the planet and being a conscious business owner. So take some time this week or this weekend to journal about all of this that I talked about. What's that conscious business mission that you have, that X, Y, that Z in that XYZ statement? How can you be more impeccable with your word? How can you throw away those assumptions? How can you do your best? And what are you going to do? What are you going to change in your business to be more conscious, to be more aware, to serve a little bit deeper? That's what I want you to journal about this week. I know Eric and I are completely changed from this experience. And if you never let yourself go there, if you never dream and plan and talk about your deepest vision and deepest whys, it's never going to happen. So allow yourself to go there. And if you need help with that, that's where Eric and I come in. On my website, www.lisapezik.com, you're going to see at the bottom of every single page, homepage, speaker page, author page, or the contact page, you can book in a 15-minute brainstorming strategy session with us completely free. That's our gift to you for staying connected to us and tuning in. And it's that perspective shift. That is everything. Man, did I get perspective from Lou this past week. And even other fellow, we call them pod members because we got to swim with a pod of dolphins. So it was the dolphin pod and then it was our human pod. There were about 16 of us, I believe. And I got such perspective from even other human pod members because I put myself out there in a different way. I experienced something different. And that's what we want to bring to you. So if that serves you, take us up on the offer. It's free. If it doesn't, keep tuning in. And I'm just happy and blessed and honored that we are connected. You're tuning in and let us know how we can serve you bigger. We've got all sorts of, proposal-based stuff on there. So anywhere that you're stuck, you're choosing to stay stuck. You're choosing to stay in overwhelm. You're choosing to play small and stop it. I don't want you to do that anymore. Thanks for tuning in, Lisa Pezik, and I'll see you next time on the Lisa Pezik Show.